Welcome back to another midnight session on MidnightCrimeAnim. For years, many of us thought the story of the Epstein network was, well, that it was over. But new data has just emerged, and it suggests the darkest secrets weren't buried. They were just waiting. Today, we begin day one of a 60-day deep dive into what that data truly reveals. The full scope of this thing remained hidden for decades. It was protected by these incredible layers of power and redaction. But then, a single digital error just broke the seal. The vault is now open, and we're going to look inside. And that's really the question that's always haunted this case, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing for a single criminal to hide their tracks. We see that all the time. But for a network of this scale to operate like a complete phantom? So how did it stay hidden for so long? Well, the key, it turns out, wasn't a source. It wasn't a leak or some brave whistleblower stepping forward. It was a failure in the system itself. A single critical digital error that honestly nobody saw coming. They call it a redaction failure. It happened during a pretty routine data release from the Department of Justice in 2026. A simple software glitch caused the security measures, the black bars hiding all the sensitive info, to just fail. And in that one moment, poof, everything was exposed. And the sequence of events was almost surgical in how it went wrong. Okay, so first, the DOJ gets the files ready for release. Then, that software glitch hits and corrupts the redaction layer. They publish the compromised files online, probably thinking everything's fine, and literally within minutes, the public saw the names. All of them. So, wait a minute. You're saying the public saw exactly what the Department of Justice was trying to hide, purely by accident? After all these years of investigations, all the money spent on enforcement, the biggest break in this entire case really just comes down to a random technical failure? It appears so. And that one accident, it changed everything. It completely shifted the focus from the how of the crime to the almost incomprehensible scale of what was suddenly revealed. For the very first time, the data itself began to speak. 1,498. Let that number sink in for a second. That's the number of names. We're not talking allegations, not rumors. 1,498 distinct individuals whose names were meant to stay hidden forever, now connected inside these files. And when you actually map the data, it looks like this, kind of like a star map. Each one of those 1,498 points is a person, a node in the system, and they all connect, either directly or indirectly, right back to the center. So this isn't just a list of names. It's the literal blueprint of a vast, complex network, so much larger than anyone ever officially acknowledged. And the logistical backbone of this whole operation, the circulatory system that kept it running for decades, it was all right there in the flight logs. You see, the official story we've had for years suggested, limited, maybe sporadic travel. But these unredacted logs, they tell a completely different story. We're talking a quarter century of systematic, frequent, and highly organized flights, running from 1995 all the way up to 2019. The logs show just a staggering frequency of flights, and particularly to destinations that we all know, like Little St. James. This wasn't some occasional trip. This was operational. And that's what just doesn't add up. It's one thing to move people around covertly, but this was, for all intents and purposes, a private, unregulated airline operating across international borders. So how did these planes just fly under the radar of international authorities for 25 years? That implies a level of impunity that it goes way beyond just being wealthy. And that question, that's what sets the stage for this entire investigation. Over the next 60 days, our mandate is to analyze the data that was never, ever meant to see the light of day. Our process is going to be methodical. We will analyze the database name by name. We're going to cross-reference every single entry with those unredacted flight logs, profile the key individuals that emerge, and present our findings right here, day by day. Thank you for joining us for Day 1 Armchair Detectives. The investigation continues tomorrow. And we'll leave you with one thought tonight. The database isn't alphabetical. It's organized by some other logic we don't understand yet. So tomorrow, we're going to examine the very first entry. Who is name number 1?